Hey everybody, welcome back to the Brandy Yvonne channel. Of course, I'm your girl, Brandy Yvonne. Here at my channel, we do fun reviews, recaps and discussions about our favorite shows. Tonight, of course, we are talking about Ready to Love, Season 5, Episode 3. The title was Sparks Will Fly or Fizzle. So let's get into it. I'm gonna adjust my chair, y'all. I was trying to get the better position. I feel like in my videos, I'll be still looking too close, so let me know if this looks good to y'all in the comments. Still working on the kinks, y'all know how it go. Anyway, I appreciate all of you subscribing, hitting that like button, commenting, and sharing. It does not hurt or cost you anything to click subscribe, to click the thumbs up, right? Show some love to your girl for Valentine's Day weekend and hit that subscribe button, okay? And comment below. I would love to dialogue about Ready to Love, especially Valentine's weekend. We gotta talk about Ready to Love, right? So anyway, let's get into it. So the episode, okay, so first of all, the episode was cool. Like, I wasn't giving a bunch, but it was good because we really got deeper into everyone's story, I feel like. Like, we learned more about Joy, learned more about Dakia, we learned about the new people. So I liked that aspect of the episode. And I understand why Cornelius was eliminated instead of Paul, and I'm going to explain my views on that once we get to the end of the video, y'all. So, the episode starts out with the wine bar lounge where all the ladies will meet to discuss with Tommy who was in the tops and who was in the bottoms for them. So, the ladies meet up and they introduce Carmen because that's the first gathering for her. And so, Tommy this week wants the ladies to take the men out on dates and take them on dates that would be things that they would be into doing. So they're completely in their own, so the women are on their own comfort zone. So, and we also have two blind dates coming this episode. So we have a lady named AP who we see is going to go on a date with Clifton. And then we have Eric who is going on a date with Dakia. So next scene, we see AP and Clifton go out. Clifton gets there first and then he sees a vegan restaurant. He's like, oh, I'm not a vegan. I don't know about this. And I'm like, Clifton, we see you not a vegan. We see that. And there's no shade. I'm not a vegan either. Okay. Not my thing. But hats off to those who do that lifestyle. That is a huge deal. So kudos to y'all. But I like my meat. Okay. And Clifton clearly likes his. So anyway, AP comes on the scene and of course, she is a vegan, so that's why they're at this vegan restaurant. AP was married for 10 years. Her husband passed away, unfortunately. And she has two kids. I believe they're like 5 and 7, or 7 and 9, I think it was. AP is a holistic life coach, so she teaches Zumba. And she mostly teaches and trains women. So I think it's like a full body, soul, mind approach to what she, the way she life coaches the women that she trains. So anyway, she was sitting down with Clifton, and first when she saw Clifton, she thought he was cute, like we all do, right? And then, they're talking about their past, and Clifton also lets us know that he has two kids, a 17-year-old and a 3-year-old, and everybody was kind of like, whoop, but he was married twice, so I'm going to assume that each kid came from each marriage. It's all good. Clifton's still fine. I don't care if the baby was born yesterday. Clifton's still fine to me, okay? So anyway, so they're talking and vibing. Clifton's like, oh, maybe I can come down to the Zumba class. Maybe I can lift my leg. We can see you don't do Zumba, Clifton. That's not you. You probably be in the gym hitting the muscles, not doing Zumba, but that's cute. So then, first of all, I never saw it for AP and Clifton. I didn't think that would be a match. I didn't take AP to be Clifton's type and vice versa, okay? So then AP's like, I can't stop looking at your face because you remind me of your brother. And he's like, she said, I'm sorry, I said that all wrong, y'all. She said he reminds her of her brother. So basically AP, when she looks at Clifton, she sees her brother, which is not going to work. You don't want to think about your siblings when you think of somebody you have a romantic connection with, right? So then Clifton's like, well, is it my voice? Is it the beard? And she's like, no, the roundness of your face reminds me of your brother. So AP was like, I was trying to get through the date, but when I look at him, all I see is my brother. So I'm like, oh, girl, you didn't throw that one away, girl, bye. So anyway, then we see a date with Eric and Dakia. Eric is super cute. him and Dakia really were hitting it off. I really am rooting for them. Okay, I'm rooting for them. So Eric is just like a celebrity chef, and he used to be a systems engineer. And Dakia also, that's what she does right now. She's a systems engineer, and she works for NASA. So I was like, go ahead, Dakia. Dakia also shared with us that she battled with cervical cancer, but she's good now. They caught it early. So I was glad we got to hear her story on that. And I would love to hear her discuss more of her journey of cervical cancer and what led to that diagnosis. Like, what are the signs we can look out for cervical cancer? So I'm looking forward to more of a teaching moment with that information, Dakia. You know, girl, if you got the time on the show to, share that if you want to. And so Eric connected that with that as well, because he was helping take care of his uncle in Harlem who also battled with cancer. And I believe the uncle's cancer is in remission now. Eric said he really looks to his parents as a model for marriage because they're still together. They still have to go on dates, tickle each other, have fun, which is like such a beautiful thing when we see couples having long-lasting marriages. I really admire that and look to that as well. And he said his dad, he's a preacher's kid. His dad was a preacher, also in the army. So he graduated high school in Germany. He got married at 18. Of course, that didn't work out. Eric does have 2 kids. Well, they're grown women, as Dakia said. He has a 21-year-old and 23-year-old daughters. Dakia, we know, does not have kids. Dakia did say that she wants to have kids, but she also knows, like, she's 39 and she's okay if she's content with if that doesn't happen for her. It's okay, which I understand where Dakia is coming from. I'm not as old as Dakia yet, but I'm getting there. I'm 33, and so in my mind, I'm thinking about how kids is going to work out for me as well. How much time do I realistically have left? So I can understand Dakia's position with that. And so they seem to hit it off. Eric wants a second date. He's like, I can't stop staring at you. I was like, oh, Eric was making me feel so good. Especially inside, I was like, yes, Eric, yes. Okay, so Eric and Clifton is my boos. Okay, those are my boos on this show. Okay, so anyway, sorry, y'all. Excuse me. So then we head over to a group date with Dakia. So this is what she's into, is the paint and pass. Really, it was like a paint and sip, y'all. So there's painting, there's drinking, and then after a certain amount of time, you switch paintings, and then you add to the next painting you get that somebody else started, basically. So on that date, we had Joy, we had Ace, Dakia, of course, Cornelius, and Eric. So this was Eric's chance to meet other people. I'm like, we not introducing Eric to other people. Eric is all ours. He's everybody's man right now. So anyway, Eric talked to Ace and talked about their journeys and all that. And then he said he really wanted to talk to Joy. Something about Joy sparked his interest. As soon as he sat down with Joy, he was like, I'm a chef, by the way. I was like, okay, Eric, you know a way to a woman's heart, don't you? Okay. So then we see them talking, and so then Dakia was like, hey, Cornelius, I haven't really had a chance to talk to you. Why don't you come over here with me and chat? So I like the way Dakia did that. She knows how to move in this situation confidently. I really I know people were saying Dakia was coming off thirsty and hot in the pants and all that, but I like Dakia's vibe and energy. Dakia knows who she is. She knows what she wants. She's, accomplished all these things. She's been through things with her cancer and all that. She's just doing Dakia. I'm with Dakia. So anyway, she talks to Cornelius and brings up kids, and they both don't have kids. Cornelius doesn't want kids. Dakia expressed again that she's interested in kids, but if it doesn't happen, she's okay with that too. And she wants to be in a household, basically be married and then have kids is what Dakia wants. Me too, girl. So then Cornelius is like, before I didn't respect the interest to the marriage, but I was married. And so then Cornelius made a comment in his confessionals that made no sense to me. Let me know what y'all think of the comments, because he was like, oh, I was vibing with Dakia, but I got the sense that she wants to have kids, but she wants commitment, and I didn't really value this to the marriage before. So I'm like, Cornelius, don't you want a commitment? Isn't that where we're all ready to love? So for him to say that implied to me that he does not want a commitment. I don't know. I don't know if they chopped and screwed the scene or what happened, but he just wasn't making sense. And you remember a previous episode, he was saying life partner, marriage, and all that. So I'm not sure about Cornelius right now. I'm not sure about him. Anyway, moving forward, then we see a date between Paul and Sabrina, because Sabrina does like Paul. And so Sabrina took Paul to a soul food restaurant. By the way, y'all, when Tommy said for the women to take the men on dates that are going to get them out their comfort zone and into the women's comfort zone, I thought it was going to be more adventure stuff than just going out to eat and regular stuff people do. But I mean, the paint sip was kind of something different. But I don't know. I thought it was going to be like people taking them to do exercise or rock climbing or swimming or something. I don't know. I thought it was going to be something else. But anyway, maybe I was looking for more. So anywho, so Sabrina and Paul are talking and they're vibing, and Sabrina, Paul says that he was an entrepreneur at a young age, and Sabrina basically feels like her and Paul are too similar to make a love connection because Paul, as we know, is kind of very rigid, kind of like in your face, kind of like he can't sit still. He's got to be always going on to the next thing, on the move, working on something. And Sabrina can be very high, strong, and intense like that in the same way. So she doesn't want to feel like they're in a business partnership. She doesn't want to constantly being pushed by somebody. She wants to be able to stop and like enjoy the day, not always looking to what's next or tomorrow. And so, which I get that, like she wants to be balanced out, and I totally get what she meant by that. So Paul then asked her, do you think I'm somebody that you could see yourself with, like in a relationship? And she was like, honestly, no, because of that reason. Like she doesn't feel like, he could balance her out well because she needs someone to kind of like help her chill and be calm and, stop and enjoy the day and not worry about tomorrow. And he would be, on the push. Let's do this. Let's do that. Just like her. And she doesn't want somebody just like her. So I totally get that. But I like the way she handled that. And I was so happy to see a scene like that this season because I feel like those honest conversations about the connections were missing last season. Also, at the end of this episode, it really clicked to me that this season was definitely too hurried, rushed so much, and we jumped right into it after ending the reunion from last season. Definitely to clean up the brand of Ready to Love's image. Definitely to clean it up from last season. I noticed that they are that is why they did it so soon. Like, I definitely have caught on to that. So anyway, then we have a group date at I believe it was a bowling alley. It was with Paul, AP, Demetrius, and Laverne and Joy. So I'm thinking this is Joy's date. Anyway, Joy had on army fatigue. AP had on some cheetah print top. Laverne had on army fatigue. I was like, was everybody trying to coordinate? Anyway, so AP meets the fellas, so. Paul was showing AP how to bowl. Paul said his mom taught him how to bowl, and she was his master bowler. I said, Paul know how to play all the sports, and he gonna beat all the ladies at all the sports. Okay, Paul. And so then we see Laverne and Joy talking, and Laverne and Joy always have this flirting, and Joy says she likes flirting with Laverne, like she never feels taken aback by him. She can, handle her own with him and go back and forth. So she doesn't feel uncomfortable with Laverne, and I totally understand it. I don't think Laverne means any harm. He's just a little irritating to me, but he doesn't mean any harm. He said something about squeezing his butt. I'm like, boy, everybody's not obsessed with your butt. Like, Laverne gives me thirsty. That's who's thirsty on the show, is Laverne, okay? And then Joy's like, no, I'm just gonna squeeze your shoulders. And Laverne is like, yeah, I'm trying to push her to see how far she's gonna go. I'm just like, Laverne is just, he needs to go next week, okay? He needs to go. So anyway, nothing was really happening that day, y'all. And so then we see a date with Clifton and Joy, the date we all been waiting for, right? So, they come, they looking good and all. Joy has some kind of fish, and it's a big piece of fish. And Clifton's like, I'm gonna help you eat that, right? And she's like, okay, and she's like, can I feed you? So he comes over there, she gives him a bite, and you see his face, his eyes got so big. And I was like, oh my God. And so then she's like, oh, it's hot. And she's like, I'm sorry, I did that. And so then he's like, this got coconut in it. So he immediately is trying to spit out the coconut. And so I guess she already knew he's allergic to coconut. And so then she's asking somebody, like, is this real coconut or artificial coconut? And so Clifton lets us know that he has this coconut allergy. And if it's artificial, he'll be fine. But if it's real, it could be bad. Like, his throat can close up. Like, he hasn't passed out from it. But this one time, I guess he had to strip out of all his clothes, and he feels himself getting hot. So I was like, oh, girl, don't be killing our boo. Joy, do not be killing our boo, Clifton. So Clifton was okay because he was able to carry on with the date there. He was fine. So I'm thinking it probably was artificial coconut, y'all. So then they're talking, and they're sharing about their dads passing away. I was trying to feel like I don't think I got a trauma bond vibe from it because they were already bonded and liked each other. But let me know what y'all think. Did y'all get a trauma bond vibe from it? I didn't get trauma bond. I think they both were just shared in that similar experience. And so Joy's dad is the one who raised her. Her mom was from Trinidad, so her dad was like all she had. And Clifton's dad passed away when he was 23, and he felt like he couldn't really grieve because he had to help keep the family together, but he grieved and let it out later. And Joy said she had that similar experience where it kind of hit her later on, and that's understandable with grief. I definitely can relate to that. When my grandma died, definitely can relate to that. And so then they ended up still having a good date despite all that. Joy's like, I really like you. I can see parts of myself in you. And then Clifton, he was joking, but he kind of ruined the moment because then he's like, oh, I can see me and you too. And so then we see, so then she was like, yeah, I want to do you again or do this again. And they having banter, playful banter. So then we see a group date with, I believe it was Sabrina's date, taking them on a tour to see the monuments and like a little tour bus that's on top. It was a cute little tour bus. Anyway, so Sabrina, Tori's so cute to me. Sabrina, Tori, Wiley, AP, and Demetrius. Now on the bus, Demetrius sitting in the back by himself. Then we have Tori and Sabrina. Then we have AP and Wiley. Now AP is 42. Wiley is 32. AP is feeling like, I'd rather talk to Demetrius with Demetrius in the back. Wiley is cute and all, but, he reminds me of my students and sorry. And I'm like, girl, just go say, hey, you know what? I'm going to go to the back and check on Demetrius. Like, if I was her, that's what I would have done. I would have been like, hey, I'm going to go check on Demetrius and then I'm going to come back up here. Like, something, because, girl, you can't be wasting time. You don't got to sit up there and hold a conversation with Wiley if you don't want to. And speaking of Wiley, I feel bad because he is 32, but there's women on the show that's close to his age. I believe there's somebody there that's 33, I believe. So, I don't know. I think they need to do something different with the age gaps on this show. Like, it need to be a group of early 30s for a whole season and maybe a group around the 40s for a season or something, because it's too big of an age. It does difference. It's a difference in 32 and 42. That's two different things. And if you're not ready to be a cougar, like the women said they're not ready to be a cougar yet, then that's understandable. Tiffany was ready to be a cougar with Wiley because Tiffany was not no 32, okay, and I don't think she was close to it. So Tiffany was ready for the young buck, but the other women, they not ready for all that. Although Dakia, you was acting real ready last week, but anywho. So they had a good little tour, whatever. Sabrina felt a little bit uncomfortable because Demetrius was right there and he could hear everything she was talking with Tori about, and then he wasn't really saying anything. He wasn't interacting on the date, and it was weird. Demetrius is weird for me. I'm not a fan of Demetrius like the other ladies are. I'm not. And so then we get down to the deliberations. And so Tommy's like, who's in your top? Ace says Laverne is in her top. I'm like, girl, really? Laverne did like give her all the compliments last week. We just haven't seen them on dates. They did look like a flashback of them on a date. So maybe they've really been talking in the background. I don't know. Laverne don't put out like he loved Ace in that way. He just sees her as peace. So I don't get it. Joy, of course, is Clifton. Carmen also said Clifton. That's another one. Didn't make sense. Only conversation we seen with Carmen and Clifton was at the little virtual golf date, and Clifton wasn't feeling Carmen. So I don't know how Carmen feels Clifton. Like, I don't know what vibe Carmen thought she was getting. If they've talked off camera, I don't know. Anyway, Precious likes Paul, and we go on down the line. So anyway, Dakia likes Eric, and he's moved to the top, of course. Like, girl, let Clifton and whoever else, Demetrius, go. It's all about Eric right now. So then they're like, who you're not feeling? Paul's name comes up. Wiley's name comes up because the women don't want to be a cougar. But Tiffany was ready, but y'all got rid of her. Who else came up? I believe Demetrius might have came up. And Laverne. Laverne is very negative. Carmen said he's negative, and somebody else felt little off-putting with Laverne. I feel like Laverne needs to go also. So after all the ladies complain about Paul, which is understandable, like we're not feeling Paul. And then Precious, she was the only one who likes Paul, so Precious stood up for Paul. Precious is like, well, no, Paul is this and Paul is that. So Precious feels like Paul could really balance her out because sometimes she could be a little flighty. So she needs somebody like Paul to be on her and be tough and stay on top of her, which I get it. And Tommy said, just that just goes to show like some people need this and some people need different things, and that's why we have different tastes. So I'm glad it's Precious like Paul that she stood up for Paul. So then we get to the elimination date. So we have Cornelius and Joy. And then Cornelius is like, oh, I wonder why Joy taking a day because I didn't think she was feeling me like that. I'm like, boy, you about to get eliminated. And so then Paul is being taken out by Precious. And so Precious is trying to explain to Paul that, like, yeah, ladies want to see more from you. And Paul's like, it is what it is. And I'm trying to go deeper and I'm not going to sugarcoat. Y'all know how Paul does. And Joy was really, really gentle. Said she want to be gentle with how she lets Cornelius know he's not ready to love. So Cornelius was the one eliminated. Now, at first I'm like, why y'all eliminate Cornelius and not Paul? But I think the reason why is Cornelius was being a little shifty with whether he wanted to commit or not. Like, his commitment level was in question. And probably his pursuit of the ladies was in question, I imagine. Paul, I do feel like he wants love, but it's just the way he comes off in his personality with that toughness. Everybody doesn't want to be treated like you're their mentor and all that. And I feel like Precious didn't articulate it correctly to him because she said the women want to see more, the women want to go deeper. It's not so much of going deeper with Paul because Paul does try to go deeper by the questions he asks. I think Paul just doesn't have the touch to reach all the ladies. Like, some of the ladies can take Paul, like Precious can take Paul. Joy can deal with Paul's personality, but everyone can't take that, like, in your face. Okay, are you going to do this? What are you doing? Why'd your marriage fail? Like, calm down. Like, some people, you need to work them easy. You need to work them slow. You don't got to sugarcoat it. You can be blunt as you want. But I think it's just Paul needs to work on his approach. But I do think Paul is still ready to love. Not my cup of tea personality liking, but I can see why Precious would like him. But I think Paul just needs to work on his approach and just kind of chill out a little bit and have a little more swag to him or something. I don't know. Let me y'all know what y'all thought of the episode. Next week, they having the pool party. Y'all know stuff get hot at the pool party. Sabrina said Carmen is manipulating the game. I'm like, ooh, please don't have another Camille and Zadi up in that thing. Oh, another reason why, y'all, before I go, I thought that this season is really to brush off all the craziness it was last season, because when the women came for the deliberations, Tommy's like, oh, look at all this melanin and chocolate. We got dark chocolate and mocha and light skin and da-da-da. And I was like, oh. See, the second time I watched it, I caught it. I was like, oh, he trying to set the tone right now. We not doing that BGS dark skin, light skin thing up in here. He was trying to set that straight in his own little gentle way. So I'll peep the game, Tommy. I'll peep the game, ready to love. Let me know what y'all thought of the episode. Please comment, share, like, and subscribe. And I will see y'all for Ladies Who List Atlanta.